Let me be clear from the start. What you are about to see is not a poll, not a narrative, and not a manufactured consensus. It is real footage, real statements, and real behavior, followed by my conclusions. You're free to disagree with my conclusions. You are not free to deny what is plainly visible. We are being told repeatedly that Americans are rising up against immigration enforcement, that the country is in revolt, that the people are united. But noise is not numbers, volume is not consensus, and intimidation is not agreement. A small group with megaphones can look like a movement, especially when cameras cooperate. Here is the reality. Across the country, we are seeing people physically interfering with federal law enforcement, blocking agents, obstructing vehicles, surrounding individuals, damaging property. That is not protest. That is not speech. Those are actions, and actions have consequences under the law.
CNN has obtained some new video. Again, it's grainy and distant, but it shows 4 full minutes leading up to the shooting. It shows Renee Good's maroon Honda Pilot entering from the right there. Then 20 seconds later, someone gets out on the passenger side. We don't know who or why this person leaves the car. We then see her turn and pull perpendicular across the street, seeming to block the way.
We can play. My car's bigger than yours. Ice! It's ice! Please help me record. Get behind them if you have a car. Can you pull behind them? It's ice. They're trying to kidnap people. Please pull behind them. Please pull behind them and park. Please. Put your car there. They're gonna move. Hurry, please. Can you guys block the road, please, so they can't get out? We have them blocked in, but we need more cars. 2 of them in the car.
Now notice how these events are usually shown to you. Close-ups, tight framing, rapid cuts, emotion without context. Rarely do you see wide shots. Rarely do you see crowd edges. Rarely do you see scale. This is not accidental. Close-ups intensify emotion and inflate perceived size. They make small groups look massive. They turn chaos into consensus. That is not conspiracy. It is production technique. Next comes the language. First, it was legal observers, then community defense. Now we are hearing words like ethnic cleansing. That phrase has a real historical meaning, and it does not mean enforcing immigration law. When extreme language is misused, it doesn't clarify reality, it creates moral permission. Once people believe they are stopping something evil, they justify behavior they would otherwise never accept.
But when the city burned, after George Floyd, all of a sudden there were some charges. So for those who are on the media talking about, don't burn it down, don't set it on fire, let me tell you this, we need justice and we need it now.
It is unacceptable to kidnap people who are simply going about their lives. I urge you to sign up for the Washington for All ICE mobilization alerts.
And just real quickly, there are folks that are going to hear you say things like state-sponsored terrorism. You put out as a statement, literally, stop fucking with us, was your words. These are goons. And they'll say that is raising the temperature and actually puts some of this law enforcement officers in greater danger. What do you say to that?
I said what I said.
Okay.
There is a deliberate refusal to distinguish between violent criminals and ordinary people, gang members and civilians, sex offenders and non-offenders. That blindness is required for the story to survive. Because once those distinctions are acknowledged, blocking enforcement becomes indefensible. You are also watching something else unfold. Independent journalists being surrounded, harassed, forced to retreat for safety, not because they are lying, but because they are uncontrollable.
Cute.
Get out of the way! Get out of the way!
When facts can't be disputed, the messenger becomes the target. Now, here is my opinion. What we are seeing is not a national uprising, it is rewarded bad behavior, amplified by media institutions that mistake disruption for consensus. Most Americans, in real conversations, off camera, want borders, safety, fairness, and law applied evenly.
Let me make this clear. Federal agents, ICE, HSI, are officers. They are agents of law enforcement. If you box them in with vehicles, it is reasonable for them to believe that they are being ambushed and that this could end in a deadly situation. And it's reasonable for them to use force based on those conditions. Do not box in any law enforcement officer. You are breaking the law when you do that. And you are putting yourself in danger. Following law enforcement agents around. The question is why? What do you plan on doing? It's also reasonable for them to believe that you're eventually going to do harm to them. If you ram any vehicle, especially that one that contains law enforcement agents, and that's any law enforcement, local, state, federal, county, and you do this intentionally, this is considered deadly force. Deadly force is anything that can cause great bodily harm or death. When you plow into a vehicle that contains law enforcement agents, you're using deadly force. And they can use deadly force in response to stop you. We need to be clear about these laws. We cannot become a society where we just decide to take everything in our own hands and start to commit crimes against law enforcement. It is a crime. You may not like what they're doing. I can understand that there's a lot of emotions out there, but that does not mean that you get to commit a crime, especially one that could lead to deadly force. We need to keep everyone safe. Our responsibilities when it comes to federal agents, and I've been asked these questions, we do not interfere with the duties and responsibilities of federal agents.
They are not throwing fits. They are not destroying property. They are not blocking agents. They are being drowned out by a very loud minority.
I want to speak for just a moment specifically to my Latino community. It saddens me that we even have to qualify these remarks, because I understand, or at least have attempted to understand through your voices, your concern, your fear, your anger.
Now, tensions are flaring even higher in Portland, Oregon, after a Border Patrol agent shot a married couple there. At least 6 people were arrested yesterday and overnight during protests in Portland. And according to DHS now, the border agents there were conducting a quote-unquote targeted vehicle stop of this married couple. They accused the couple of both being connected to the Venezuelan gang Tren de Aragua.
This show operates on a few non-negotiable realities. Laws do not vanish because people protest them. Reality does not change because language is rewritten. Violence justified by ideology is still violence. If those truths are rejected, we are no longer debating policy. We are debating reality itself. When language detaches from reality, people put themselves and others in harm's way. That is not activism. That is not justice. That is delusion. And delusion does not get to rule reality unless we allow it to. I don't. Thanks for joining me today. I'm April Lejeune for the America Matters radio show.